everyone. Welcome to Kelly's Creative Dream Studios, and the organization continues. Now this is Friday, March 21st, and if it's 10:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, we are in the chat room right next door. Come on in, say hello, or just sit back and watch the show. I'm going to try and today we're talking about organization. I have been working in my stamping and filming corner. And this is the area I craft in, and you'll see everything fully here in about another month as I finish this up. So bear with me. But while Bob's gone, I've been working on things that I needed to have an area to sort. So I needed the dining room table, because I've not cleaned off my work table yet. So for the last 3 days, I have been taking all of my lace trims off of these bobbins and transferring them over to 3x4 pieces of corrugated cardboard because I'm changing the storage system for them because I need to have more room for my drawers. Now for my ribbons. I have 2 drawers of ribbons and I needed to have a third one. So that required moving my lace trims into another way. And I wanted to be able to put them this way so I could see the ribbon. Now if you see this, they're down in the box and they kind of disappear. And I can't stand them up this way. They'd be tall enough, but I can't see what the ribbon is. So I'm moving everything over to these 3x4 cards, and they'll sit down in here and I can see what's what. But where did I get these boxes from? Now, Bob had built my drawers for my storage unit, and I could have had him go ahead and build the narrower drawers to fill in the space for these. But I didn't want to wait till he got back from Texas. I wanted to work on that while he was gone, and I had the dining room table to work on. So I bought these shorter photo boxes from Hobby Lobby. They're $2.99 a piece. And then I poked holes and I held them together by a zip tie. And then now I can't use the hole punch. It won't go all the way through, but it will give me a mark that I can make a finger notch like that. And I don't go too deep because I don't want to spring my punch. But then I can come back with this and try not to cut myself as I make a little bitty finger notch here. And I'm going to come back this way with this one and kind of meet in the middle, just like that. And then I have a finger notch. Now I've got one more set to do there. And then these will sit down in here like this. I have three of these, so my game plan is to do whites, ruffles, and then vintage and colors is my plan. So while I'm here and I'm doing that, let me go ahead and do this other drawer because I've already done one. Let me get this one done too. And then this part will be done. I don't believe in spending a lot of money for storage. I have found that the photo boxes are just perfect for what I need them to do. I got it a little off center, but we'll make it work. For what I need them to do, they're lightweight, but they'll hold a ton of stuff. Trying to do this so I don't cut my finger. There we go. And then this will sit right over here on the shelf, and it gives me a finger pull to get a hold of and pull those out. So I thought I was done, and then I found these. So I have these to do yet tonight, but as I wound them up, excuse me, and got ready to put them away, I've been putting them in one of these storage boxes, these scrapbook cases from Hobby Lobby. They're 12 by 12. Now these are just like the Irish cases, except these are like $4 cheaper. So, and I have a lot of them. And so I've been binding all this lace on the new bobbins and placing them in here till I'm ready for them. Now I had one here a minute ago that was just like this, that I can, I won't add it to this, but I'll do a second one and I'll file them together. So I have those. And then, try not to knock my coffee cup off. This is the drawer that I was keeping all those lace trims in. I have 2 with ribbon that are wound on these bobbins, and the drawers each hold about 120 different, not spools, but different colors of ribbon. And I need to have a place to bring in my Stampin' Up! Ribbons. I did have them up here in my CD case storage on the wall with my Stampin' Up! Ink pads, but I don't need to keep them separate anymore, so I'm going to integrate them in with the rest of them, and they're stored in order by color. So I decided to use this section that had the wider laces up in here. I decided to use this for my baker's toy and get them out of the shoebox. So that one's ready to go. And I think I can finish that in the morning, and then, because I just have, these are all I have left, and then I can move on to the only other thing I really need to sort and take care of while Bob's gone and have use of the dining room table is my paints and mixed media stuff. So I'll be doing that, hopefully, before he gets home. I do know that he is on his way back to Oklahoma today. In fact, he should be in Oklahoma by now. He said he was going to stay a day or two with his brother before he comes home. So I'm thinking I might see him Saturday afternoon or Sunday. We'll see when I talk to him later what kind of time I have left to do. So I guess one of my points for this is, if you're looking at your room and you're overwhelmed by what you need to do, pick one thing. I started because I knew I needed the drawer for the Stampin' Up! Ribbon, but I couldn't put the Stampin' Up! Ribbon away until I took care of my lace trims. So this is the only project I have been working on for the last 4 days. Getting that done and getting it put away. When it's done, then I will move over to doing those ribbons and getting them put away. Pick one thing. If it takes you a month to sort through it by only getting, maybe you only get 30 minutes a day to work on it, don't worry about it. Work on just that spot and nothing else. Start with the floor. 15 minutes off the floor, and there you go. If you need to create a path, that works too. I also suggest starting with something that A, seems to be the easiest to start with for you, and B, that is going to bring you the most joy and the most motivation to continue when you are done with that. Getting this filming corner, and I know you can see me talking with my hands and, boxing out this corner. Getting this filming and crafting corner done is huge. All of my projects are on the sofa. I know where they're at. They're not done. But I know what's on that sofa, and that's all that's there, and I don't worry about anything else over there. My work table is a whole nother issue. Where my office and then my cutting machines are going to go is a whole nother issue. But by getting these smaller things out of the way, I can feel as if I'm making progress. And isn't that what it's all about? Now, one of the things that I did do for this corner is I got my bling box done. I was talking about this. I got the bling box done. And I used, I cut out the pages from a 4x6 brag book. You can get them for like $1.25 at Dollar Tree. Sometimes you can get them for 99 cents at Walmart. And then I put a piece, although the pockets are divided for front and back, I added a piece of thin poster board in there to give me a little bit more stability in the pocket. And then they're all stored. Then I made the dividers an inch taller than the books. And then I used my tab die from Stampin'. Sometimes it's really hard to find words. I used the die cutting die using for the tabs from Stampin' Up! And I made my tabs, and I made them alternate back and forth. I labeled them with my Brother label machine. I have sequins up here. Then I have anything that's pink and red, orange and peach, yellow, greens, blues, purple. Are you seeing a theme here? My neutral tones, grays and browns, blacks, whites and clears. And then I went into themes. Valentine, Halloween, winter, Christmas, garden, and then all the miscellaneous Dollar Tree, because I know when I pull this bling out, I pretty much know what's going to be in here because I buy their sheets like this. And these little black pieces, I use those for the body on butterflies. And they're really cool. And then I've got my metals back here in the back. I probably should have done, in fact, I was going to do one for metals. I'll need to make there's another divider right there ready to go. I'll just label it. And it'll be done. I did those in medium, and I did them in bold, and I want metals. And I need my sticky scissors. Uh-oh. Nothing printed. Where did it go? Huh, it's stuck. See if we can get it to do that again. I may have to put a new cartridge in later, but let's try it again and see what happens. Nope, it's stuck. It's stuck. So I'll have to change that out later and do that. But then, so all of my bling is here. So you've seen me in past videos when I was working on something and I needed to try and find a bling color. And I happened to flip through all of them, and they had the really tall tops on them because I had them stored in my card envelopes. This is so much nicer looking. And the box is a recycled sardine display box from Walmart. I don't need fancy, I just need it organized. The other thing I want to work on, the only other thing I have left in this corner besides those ribbon drawers, is my color catalog for all of my Stampin' Up! Stuff. And I've made a card that holds a piece of the cardstock, stamping in the ink in a butterfly, watercolor, and that is a watercolor pencil or the watercolor crayon. I have both. The Tombow marker, La Plumes, or whatever it is that Stampin' Up! Calls them, their markers, and then light and dark of their stamping blends. So I can do that. Now, I was looking at this, and I had these all going the same direction, and I saw a problem. If they were all cardstock on this side, eventually this was going to start to bulge out. So my husband had the neat idea, why don't you just turn them over? Well, I'd already made the line for the light and dark for the Stampin' Blends, so I just went through and I marked those off with a whiteout. And now I will go through and I will alternate cardstock on the left, cardstock on the right, cardstock on the left, cardstock on the right, until I have all of my Stampin' colors done. And that won't take me long. I'll sit here and watch a movie and do that, because when I broke down my color file, you can see I have some colors here that I can go ahead and just cut those apart and use those right away. So those won't take long at all. And that project will be done. So between the lace trims, the ribbons, and the cardstock catalog, I will have everything done in this filming corner. And I can film a video for you when we're done as a walkthrough. Because while I have 480 square feet of space in this room, this corner is primarily my creative space. Now I have a spot on the back side of this where I have my scrap rack binders. And I have a ladder stand over at the end of my work table where I have my cutting plates and my cutting machines. And then I have my Tim Holtz and my mixed media stuff across the room from me. But primarily the rest of this is supposed to be for my office. But overall it's 480 square feet of creative space. Now, this is the second time I'm recording this video. The last time I started with the video, and I forgot to remind everybody that we were in a chat right next door to come join us. So, after I did that and restarted this, then I realized I forgot to tell you all something else. Last Friday, I talked about the importance of emergency preparedness. And it really is important. We've lived here almost 20 years. Our first major tornado scare here in our area was Memorial Day weekend when the cyclone hovered over my house, and I've told you that story. The other one was Friday night. We knew we had severe weather coming through. We just didn't know where. And we were also blessed with the fact that it was going to come through pretty much through the daytime, we thought. But tornadoes have a way of telling time and, oh, it's dark, let's flare up and see what damage we can do. Actually, it's all about the weather configuration, the airflow once the sun sets. But, you know, you got to make light of some things. So after our premiere last week, I took time to start moving things downstairs into my safe corner. I take all of my electronics, I take all of my flash drives, because my business and all of my books are on those, and I don't want to have to try recreating those after the shock passes. I also take down my wedding album and 2 books that my sister made for me, and she is no longer with us. And I want to make sure that I have those to pass on to her grandson, because I don't know if her grandfather did that after she died. I think he just pretty much closed up the house and walked away, which is kind of sad. But they had lived there for almost 60 years in that house. And I get that. There was just too many memories in that house for him. But I don't know what Nicholas got. So at some point I want these books to go to Nicholas, so I want to keep them safe. So I moved everything downstairs, and by about 4 o'clock, I live with my storm chaser, Ryan Hall, on YouTube from the moment severe weather may be happening to the fact that, oh, here it comes. Ryan Hall is my go-to weather guy, and please, please follow him on YouTube, Ryan Hall, y'all. He has devised an app that lets him track these storms, and a lot of times he has knowledge of these storms are coming and where they're going to hit before the National Weather Service ever issues any warnings. And I'm also going to be joining his channel. I watched him under another screen name the other night, and I didn't want to join under that one, so I've got to go back in and join his channel and support his channel. The stuff that the monetary gain that he has from his channel and from his supporters, he has warehouses full of stuff that his team takes out to devastated areas. Water, cleaning supplies, whatever they need. A lot of times there's cash dished out because of the support he gets from his followers on YouTube. So please, 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 if you want to help those in devastated areas, or you want to be able to know when the weather's coming your direction, please go follow Ryan Hall, y'all, and join his team. And I will leave a link for Ryan's videos down our channel down below. But I had the dogs and the dog and the cat downstairs by 4 o'clock. And we did not get the all clear until almost 10:30. The last hour and a half, I sat there watching the tornado cone barrel towards me. We were in the direct opening of that cone. And at the last 10 minutes, it kind of veered to the east, missed us by about 20 miles, and devastated the small town of Fremont. I really felt for those people. Fremont sits in a bowl, and it looked like somebody had just turned on an immersion blender in the center of town. It was horrific. While across the street from them, one man had all of his outbuildings destroyed, and his house wasn't even touched. Boggles my mind. So we are in tornado season. It's going to happen. You need to be prepared. One thing that I did not think about that Ryan brought up the other day is you need to have a hard hat of some type. Bicycle helmet, construction hard hat, something. Because most people who are in their safe centers, their injury is usually a head injury from flying debris or stuff falling on top of them. I had not given that any thought. I now own a construction helmet. I've got one that will strap into place. I bought it at Ace for $12. It will help. It will help. So please get prepared. As Ryan says, don't be scared, be prepared. I sat down there and read my new Enchanted magazine, and that was my evening. But I was so glad when they gave the all clear. I was ready for my pillow because my bedtime is 7:30, not 10:30. And I still had the animals to feed and get their, get Honeybee his meds. And it was a long day Friday. Today has been much better. Yesterday we had all kinds of wind, but today has been much better. But it's getting cold again. So I brought Fluffy back in so he's not out there in this weather. And so now, yeah, I've got 2 days to see what else I can get done before Bob gets home. So tell me down in the comments below, what is the one area of your craft space that you have been avoiding? And tell me why and how can I help? Thanks for joining me in the studio today and in the premiere if you were here. Please remember to like, to share, subscribe, and check out Ryan Hall down below. Creative blessings.